What is up, Miss Villagers? It is good to see you. Happy New Year. God, I cannot stop scratching my head. Anyway, I hope that the new year is starting wonderfully for you. It's very rainy here, but it's pretty cool. All right, let's dive right into it. There is something that we need to discuss. I don't want to beat around the bush, so you may not like hearing this. I thought the last Star Wars movie was fine. Totally good. I'm down with it. Into Rey and Finn, so that's where I stand. So yeah. All right, so moving past that awkwardness, for the book 8, there have been some mixed reviews. Some people really, really love it and giving accolades, and other people, it wasn't quite what you wanted to read, and let me talk about that. So one, thank you for reading. Like, writing these books is this kind of like amazing adventure, but being able to share them is even better. So one, thank you for reading. That's awesome. I wish, now as an author, right, I wish that I could hit that perfect spot that everyone would always love everything that I was always gonna write. But I've come to accept that not everyone will love everything that I write, and that is okay. I am totally fine with you guys expressing yourselves, sharing, letting me know. There's a method to the madness. There's always a 7 numerology going on. That's why 7 was so massive. And I really wanted to show you, going back to the roots of just basically Richter on his own, like in book 1, to set the stage for the next arc of awesomeness that is coming. So I hope that you guys will stick with it. And I really appreciate everyone that is taking the time to walk through my world so much. And for everyone that continues to walk through it, you're absolutely amazing, but I appreciate you all. Maybe I appreciate people that are going to still keep reading like a little bit more, but you guys are all just top notch, really, really, really great. Okay, so moving on past that, comments. I want the group to be a open place where people can share their comments. I think it is totally valid to say if you liked it. I think it's totally valid to say if you didn't. As long as you follow a couple rules to respect your other misvillagers, right? So one, no spoilers. Just no spoilers. Everybody knows it. No spoilers. Do the spoiler thing, the dots, and then just share and do what you need to do. Rule 2, no drama. Don't start a flame war. I feel like everyone has come here because they kind of fell in love with the books at some point in time and wanted to join this community. But I think the reason everybody stayed is that it's one of the only places on the net that's free of the divisions, the drama and the strife and the whatever. So however you may feel, please keep that going. And rule 3 is basically keep away from the drama, keep away from the spoilers, but say what you want, express yourself. Just don't be a dick to each other, and I'm sure there is someone out there that wants a very clear description about what it means to not be a dick, and I will give you a general rule of thumb. If you are feeling like you may be starting to be a dick, in my experience, that is kind of dick territory. And if you overly need a very specific definition of what it means to be a dick, you're right on the shaft. So just be good to each other. Share the comments. It's totally okay if you liked it or if you didn't. I want you guys to be able to share, so have at it. All right, I wrote this stuff down. All right, item 3, okay, reviews. I want everyone to share a review that they feel comfortable with and that they feel as open and honest with how they feel. I also want you to be aware of them, right? I want you to feel free to share, but I also want you to understand what your review means to an author like me. So reviews are the lifeblood of an author, right? They really, really matter, and they determine things in a very real and specific way for professional writers such as myself. One, it determines whether or not new readers will join into the land, right? So the reviews of the series have been just phenomenal. They break all the charts for, indie authors and just sort of authors in general on Amazon. And this one is more mixed for the first time. I'm totally down with you guys sharing that, but I just want you to be aware that while whatever you say, whatever you put out there, it lasts you for 30 seconds, but it affects, me and my story and the other things for a lifetime. So share what you feel is right, but be aware of it, right? And the second thing about reviews is, some of you guys told before, it's there are some valid reviews. There were also some reviews that went up that were 1 out of 5 star like 2 or 3 minutes after the book dropped, those were trolls. So please just upvote or vote helpful on reviews that you agree with, and if you haven't left a review, please do. I am hearing you, and I do appreciate you. And again, I wish I could write something that everyone would love, but for now, just know that you guys are good. Okay. All right, so next item is, I thought that I made this very clear in the book, so I tried to figure out a way to say this without any spoilers, but let me say, you cannot eat mana, okay? Like, you can't, like, summon a fish that just disappears in a couple minutes and then expect the fish that you've eaten not to disappear as well. Like, it just doesn't work. You can't, suck on an ice dagger. Like, it's just not going to work. It's not going to be good. Don't do it, okay? So... All right, all of that being said, let's see, the next points. All right, so basically, I feel like what happened a lot of time, like with the reviews and the book and the reception, is that you guys had to wait. You had to wait for 2 years. You did. I wanted it to come out faster, but unfortunately, life reared its ugly head, and that's what happened. So I understand where you're coming from. You got Matrix 2'd, right? Like the second Matrix, not as good as the first one, but, perfectly fine movie. But after waiting for years and years, you're like, come on, man. I was expecting dinosaurs with freaking laser beams on their heads. And what is this, dancing in a cave thing? I'm now realizing that this book is actually in a cave too. So that's a really good analogy. But anyway, I understand where you guys are coming from. Life happened. I wouldn't trade the outcome of various things like my dad for the world, but I get where you're coming from, that it was a wait. And if you were expecting certain things, if you had fallen in love with the village, or if you'd fallen in love with Cyan, or if you'd fallen in love with various other characters or things that, can be in the land, and you got something else, how you might, feel let down. So I get that as a fan. And, yeah, so I just want to say, I hear you. Okay. Let's see. Boom. Yeah, so I want to say, despite everything else, you guys are amazing. I am an indie author. I have no publishing company behind me. I've got an awesome assistant. I've got, really some great beta readers. I've got mods that step up. But more than anything else, I have you guys as fans. And out of the 32.8 million books that are quoted to be sold on Amazon, out of the 45 million books that are reported to be on Amazon, Monsters reached number 5. Like, that's the number of fingers that are in my hand. It never really occurred to me when I was writing the first book that anyone would read it. And for just a few short years later, for Monsters to be able to, kind of make these waves, like, that's crazy. That's the kind of thing that actually will get the land turned into a TV series at some point. It's the kind of thing that will get a game company to look at the land and actually maybe make it into an MMORPG. Like, I can't promise it, but I know that those are the kind of markets they're looking for. So I am so humbled and thankful, because you guys rock. So thumbs up for that. Okay. Let's see. The other thing that people are talking about, Audible. Again, Nick has the manuscript now, or he will as soon as I push send, because I realized I didn't finish the email. And he's looking for room in his schedule. So ideally, in the next 2, 3, 4 months, it will be down, it will be up, it will be there for you. And yeah. Next, people have been talking about God's Eye, which is my new series. That will be coming out in late February. It is a bit darker, a bit more extreme than the land. It's something that I've been wanting to work on for a while. Some of you guys have heard me read the prologue aloud, or you've read it at the end, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let's see. Next. Yeah, so book 9. As I said, I wanted 8 to come out faster. So if any of you guys that have looked at the timeline, you know that I wrote the first 6 books in 14 months. Those just flew out of me. And then the 7th book, which weighs 5 pounds and is 450,000 words, took a year. Monsters took longer because of life. I've told you guys about some of it. There's other things that I haven't, but the good news is that everything sort of evened out. I've been able to take care of the people that I need to take care of. things have fallen into place, and now like I just feel free to, I don't know, be able to create and do this awesome stuff again. So you will not have to wait nearly as long as 9. I've already started on it, and there are other projects that I want to be giving you as well. But do not fear. Richter will always be my number one love and will always get precedence over any other project. So there you go. Okay. Let's see. I don't know. There's something weird with the.
Come on, express yourself.
Whoa.
Just don't be a dick to each other.
That's me reading me. I'm saying it because I usually get like an insane amount of comments, and I'm seeing them show up, but I wasn't seeing them. Hold on. All right, I see them, and I will start addressing them in a second. Let me say the last thing that I wrote down, because I wanted to make sure that I caught everything, was that again, you are appreciated. I would not be anywhere. I do not have any publishing company behind me. I do not have their legions of whatever, or their Facebook manipulations, or any of that kind of stuff. I have you. So thank you for walking in my world with me. Thank you for leaving reviews however you felt. Thank you for staying with my story, and I hope that you continue to do so. And I appreciate all of you, no matter how you feel. I appreciate the people that left 5 stars just a little bit more. But you know, hey, that's Chinatown. So I just want to say thank you. And yeah, you cannot eat mana. I felt like I was very clear. I may redo that section just to be like, you cannot eat mana. So those are most of my takeaways. And before I start responding to comments, hopefully they're not brutal, let me say happy birthday to Evan Durham. He is a guy that takes all of your abuse when you're upset about things so that I can focus on writing. He is the guy, when you guys are like, man, I really just enjoy this space and the people, it's because the moderators, with him being the head moderator, work tirelessly. So I am so appreciative of them, so appreciative to him in general. And yeah, let's see if I can get to some of these comments. Okay. So Nathan Collins says the books are the first that he's read. It's opening a path. I'm glad you appreciate it. Darcy says, I am still her favorite author, and not to let the bad reviews get me down. Thank you, Darcy. I greatly appreciate you. Let's see. Susie says she finally got here. I'm glad you did. Lucy, hello. Flash, I will keep them coming. And Blake Edgins says, doesn't matter, it's better than nothing at all. Hood job. Oh, I guess that meant good job, not hood job. I appreciate that, sir. Alex says he loved book 8. Thank you so much, Alex. You especially should leave a review. Dean Lee is asking about the audiobook, so I addressed that, but again, I'm hoping for the next couple months, so yeah, that should be happening. Scotty says the curls are looking good. Yes, this is the first time in 10 years that I've grown out my hair. And it's because when I was in medical school and residency, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a black barber shop, but it's not like a Supercuts where you just sort of go in and go out. There's a whole like rituals and talk and whatever. And if a cute girl walks by, you might run out. And so, I mean, like, I just didn't really have the time. Definitely didn't have the patience. So I just bought some clippers and just started shaving my own head. And I finally started growing it. And lo and behold, I have curls, which I never knew before. I don't know if I just like beat it up with the clippers for so long that it's just finally curling now that I'm letting it grow again. But yeah, that's what's happening. Let's see. Lauren says that she's trying to wait for the Audible version, so she hasn't read it yet. And she said she can't think of any series, even her favorite ones, that didn't get into some parts that other people didn't like more or less. And yeah, you know, there's this old line by Erykah Badu when she's like putting out one of her songs, and she goes, "Hey, so this is a new song," and everyone's like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, but just keep in mind, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit." And I totally got that, because I've never really cared too much what other people were thinking. I've always, you know, danced to the beat of my own drum and all that kind of stuff, until I started writing these. And man, these curls are like even leaving shadows in my head. They're for real. All right. But yeah, these felt personal to me, you know, in a way that the books that never really did before. So I mean, like, even with like, you know, the first books where I'd get like, you know, 100 5-star reviews in a row, and then I'd get like the 3-star review, and I'd be like, "What's up with this guy? What's it?" I would just obsess about it. And then, you know, other people that got thrown out for various reasons started with the trolling, and like it kind of got at me. But I will say that one of the things that I feel like I've grown through is like to look at the perspective a little bit more. So it's really more about like creating the story. It's more about like connecting with people. It's more about creating something that I'm proud of. Because like, yeah, I mean, like I will ask until I'm blue in the face. Please leave a review. Please upvote the ones that you agree with, and ideally those are the good ones. But it's like way less important than the other things that I just mentioned. I've been getting messages of support, love, and awesomeness from Miss Villagers all day. And like one of them is that, there's a Miss Villager whose son is sadly sick, but he was able to show his son that like video that Nick did, Nick Podell, the narrator, who's amazing when he read the first chapter of Monsters. And he just showed me this picture of his kid smiling, and I'm like, "Yo, that's awesome." It's reminds you to sort of let go of the BS. I guess what I'm saying is yes, I love the reviews, that I love the accolades, and that people generally like love everything. But the fact that I've been able to kind of create this community and that people are like making friends and connections and making differences in each other's lives is kind of even more awesome. If I can be super eloquent. So yeah. Anyway, let me not get told off. I totally lost my place in these comments. So I'm just gonna get started from the top and scroll down. Let's see. Am I looking at these backwards or? All right. I'm gonna start with Heather Rainwater Alvarado, and she says she'll like the book better when Nick reads it. Yes, because Nick is amazing. I will absolutely agree. And what is going on with the comments? All right, you guys are ahead of me. I'm gonna try to switch this screen to see if I can see something. Why are only a few of them showing up? That's so weird. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to respond. Okay. Let me go to Trent. So he says he hasn't read it yet, but Trent's saying that he hasn't read book 8 yet, but from what he's seen, everyone expected to see book 8 instead of the imagination you had for the book. Yes. And I totally get that too, right? Like I'm a super fan dork. I've been upset. I still curse Fox for canceling Firefly. And I mean, God, that was like 20 years ago, and I mean that. So, unless Fox comes with a really solid contract, then, yeah, you guys are cool. Anyway, but, I get it. People want what they want. And if you've been holding out and if there was something that you loved and it didn't have that thing in it, then I get it. And, when I was first starting, I wanted to create an expansive world, but I never really foresaw that this could be a potential problem, that by making it so expansive, right, even though I was trying to avoid the mistakes of a certain sea captain looking author, you can make a book that doesn't have the thing that people love. It's like if in I always loved Matt Cathon and Wheel of Time, and I could never get enough of it. And then Perrin was also my second. Randall was actually a very distant third, and yet that was most of the book about him. And I always felt like I was just waiting. So I totally get that if you're in love with Alma, or if you're just want to hear Crom's voice, I could totally see that. So, but anyway, I just want to know I hear you, and I think you guys are still just beautiful, sexy people. All right. Let's see. So Scotty says that he read book 8. It was the first one he read, and he can still hear Nick's voice in the back of his head. That's good. I actually wake up to Nick talking to me sometimes, and I'm like, "What are you doing in my house?" But yeah, okay. Charles says, can't wait for the next one and wants to know what it'll be called. I'm actually working on a couple different titles, and I will announce it relatively soon. Man, I cannot keep up with I feel like every second there's new comments no matter where I look, and I keep losing it. Okay, so Heather wants to reiterate, don't be a dick, don't tap dance around it. Come on, guys. We're mostly grown-ups here. Everyone that I know that's interesting has both interacted with dicks and been a dick. And at some point in your life, you decide to either lean into that dickness, right? Or not. So yes, just be cool, man. Just be smooth. You know, that's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. And Tyler said he had to go poopy. I hope that wasn't too bad. Somebody's asking if I got a black eye. No, this is not new. This is from an old bar fight from my tempestuous youth, where I was defending a young lady's honor. I did not get my glasses off fast enough, so it made a little cut, and it's been getting slowly darker. So that is why that's happening. Darcy says, I'm still our favorite author. Thank you, Darcy. And not to let the bad reviews get me down. I won't. Okay. Let's see. Donna says, thank you for putting myself out there. Thank you for walking in my world, Donna. And let's see. Justin says he can't read the book until Nick does it. I understand. And Gerald wants to know when we're going to play the LitRPG as soon as I possibly can. I think Sarab is in Australia, so g'day. Lauren says we don't know. I don't know you guys anything. Well, I really appreciate the sentiment. I do feel like it's weird because it's like you don't want to be obviously bullied from pillar to post by anyone else, but you also don't want to be like so out of touch that you don't listen to what people are talking about, right? It was always a very, very like deliberate decision for me to have, the book be about Richter, because I wanted it to cycle back to the beginning of the first arc where we were really seeing him, and it's going to set up for just the same expansiveness. Because I'm sure you guys have seen that the 7 numerology plays a big role in the book, and will manifest throughout time. So. I didn't really anticipate that people were like, oh man, I just really want this one thing that I love about the land, and not this other thing. But I get it. I mean, it's all good. It's no stress. Okay. Alex says he's loving it. I'm glad. You sure should definitely leave a review, as should PJ, who also loves it, which is good. Blake Adkins says, good job, still my favorite, and thank you for spreading the word, Blake. Again, that's pretty much the best thing that you can do, because I am an indie. If you guys will just share a word of the book, that is absolutely awesome. Let's see. And Justin says, don't let me anyone dictate the story. I appreciate that. I am going to stay strong, because, you guys are here and enjoying it because of the ridiculous, machinery inside of this noggin that I got. So I have to think that the way that we'll continue to grow together is if we continue to stay the course. So, yeah, there's definitely been people in the past that were really mad. Apparently, they thought some of the book titles didn't match up with what happened in the book. It's ridiculous. I hope that you guys do continue to read, because there's just so much awesome coming. All right. Let's see. Brian says, don't talk about Firefly. I know, still too soon. Can you believe us? Anyway. Shiny. Let's see. So Jimmy's when the hard cover is coming out. Formatting this stuff is just one of those things that's kind of like a pain in the butt. I have finished half of the formatting more than half of the formatting for the paperback and hardback versions. So I just need to and I'm having my artists, finish up the last minute tweaks and whatever. So ideally by the middle of next week, I will have submitted everything. I don't remember how long it takes Amazon and my hardcover place to get it up, but ideally my part will be done by the middle of this week. So hopefully not longer than 10 days ish. I'm hoping. Yeah. All right. So Lauren says definitely she wants more Matt and Perrin. Yeah, I agree. And the 3 women that he was all, tortured about, like, oh, my life's so hard. All these sexy women from all around the world love me. Come on, get out of here, Rand. Whatever. Yeah. All right. So Rachel says she loves book 8. Thank you, Rachel. Again, I'm going to put a link on here for everyone that loves the book. Please leave a review. That would be very helpful. For everyone that doesn't, you guys are busy. Don't even worry about it. It's totally good. So Brian says, toss salad. I hope that you were not in prison, sir. And let's see. Gary Friedel says, why do your books have to be so enjoyable? I really appreciate that. Again, you're not going to have to wait as long. The people that I had to take care of in my life have been taken care of, mafia style. But yeah, I'm back on it, and I hope that you guys enjoy the stories that are about to come. Sean Bobber said his wife named her hamster Richter. Right on. That works. Okay. Man, I am so behind on these comments. Okay. Let's see. Book 8 is great. Did you say any of them in the series? So yeah, God's Eye is going to be LitRPG-esque. Not LitRPG-esque. It's going to be LitRPG plus, I guess, because there's elements that I've been playing around with in the back of my head to make a new gaming system that is adaptive and associated with the land, but also kind of unique in its own. So I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. It's got some like commentary. I don't want to ruin it for you, but it's darker. It's more intense, and there's going to be more. And it also teases the other stories that are going to be coming out. So I hope you enjoy that. Matt says, I did make you wait a year and a day. Again, life reared its ugly head, but I'm happy that we're here together. Now, I cannot keep track of where I am in these comments. Okay. Let's see. So Susie's asking, is 7 a huge thing in Korean culture? I do not know. I am not Korean. I am black and Japanese. And my father is Chinese Jamaican, so I was raised going to the island of China, of Jamaica, my whole life. So that's what I got going on. I'm not about K-pop. It's just not my deal. All right. Stephanie wants to know if I'll be going to any cons or activity in Utah. I was thinking about going to Sundance to just sort of meet some people, see if I can find a cool young director that's got the what the hell is that? That's got the juice and might want to take a chance on something new, but I'm not sure. All right, so this is it. I'm going to read this out too. Ashley Chesney says, initially when I finished book 8, I was really disappointed. But after letting it, I'm sorry, I was trying to read that because I want to be honest and fair that I'm reading both, but the comments knocked it off. Basically, Ashley Chesney, I was getting that you read it and you weren't really feeling it at first. I appreciate you guys like sharing like the feedback with me. I really want everyone to love it, obviously, but everyone doesn't. So there's a lot going on in there. I understand that some of you are speed readers. I cannot understand how anyone that read 150,000 words in like 7 hours could really get the stuff that I labored over, the nuances, but maybe you did. But there might be more in there if you give it another shot. Just let it percolate on the back of the palate. This is what I'm saying. You might enjoy it. Okay. I'm obviously missing comments because for whatever reason, for the first time, this is not showing me comments on my phone. I'm having to read it from, you don't know what I'm pointing at, but I'm pointing clearly over here. So, and I'm having to read these comments, but I think there's a max comment thing and it keeps knocking them out. So I'm going to have to skip forward a little bit, hoping that these or whatever. Okay, so Brian says, come to Baltimore. I'm not allowed back. Alex Avila says, The Expanse even. I do enjoy The Expanse, but yeah, fourth season. Let's see. And so Jacob Garza says, I think everyone just wants more. Can you visit Nexus, write all 50 books, and release them in quick succession? Totally. Yeah, I'm about that life. So Anthony's asking if I've ever thought about doing a UK. Oh, my God. The comments are finally here. I don't know what's going on, but only like 4. Okay. Wait. Damn it. Technology. Windows 98. All right. Let me go back to Anthony's question. So a book tour is something that is usually organized when you are what you call a trad or a traditional author, and only for they're golden boys and girls. So as far as like me actually traveling around, I don't know. I've thought about it, and I know that like I've got fans like sprinkled everywhere, but there's sprinkles, and sprinkles are for winners, but they're just sort of sprinkled everywhere. So if I'm in the UK and I have any luggage space, I will bring some books and shout out if anyone wants to get a pint with me. But as of right now, no book tours are planned. No. All right, so Jonathan Powell says, first, Doctor, I love you. Second, I love you back, Jonathan. Second, this book was awesome. Third, I did a review. Fourth, keep on trucking, man. You knocked out basically everything. Love, reviews, trucks. You're my guy, John. Appreciate you. All right. Frank says he totally got the new Parks and Rec reference, but which one? Because so far only one person has really gotten the major spoiler teaser. I'm gonna have to skip ahead because again the comments are getting knocked out. And Alex is going on to Jamaica for a honeymoon. Email me, Alex, because there's going to be a signed book waiting for you when you get back. Just email me your address and we're gonna hook that up. Alex says, love to meet in Utah. I'd love to meet you in Utah. And Brian says, make a land series for Netflix. That's totally on the to-do. Just sort of waiting for the dudes to pick up. So if anyone works for Netflix, again, very little shame, willing to do mostly frontal nudity. So let's make this happen, okay? All right, I don't mind telling you about the fun. It's your story that counts. I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you for waiting. Let's see. Dan Sloan says, thanks for the books. I think perhaps people miss some of the implications of the changes. The changes are huge. They are huge. They are huge. So yeah, they are huge, but okay. People get, I feel like if you race through it super duper fast, like there's probably things that were like teased just a little bit, but whatever. Enjoy it as you will. Like I had somebody else message that like when they saw the Christmas present that Nick Podell did, they were like, wow, this is the first time I haven't listened to it at 3 times normal speed. It's like, why? Why are you racing through? You're not even hearing the inflections of Nick, who is literally the best narrator in the world. It's very rare to meet the best out of 8 billion, and that's him. But again, let your freak flag fly. Like, do your due. Okay, so Jimmy says there are some typos. So yes, that's one of the things I didn't mention. Myself, my beta readers, we go through it several times. We try to catch all the typos. We are sorry for, and I am sorry for any of the times that it is sort of drawn you out of the story. I would say if anyone sees a typo, please send me an email, and I will fix it and re-upload a better copy. And I appreciate you bringing any of that to like my attention. Do not give me the Kindle. Do not give me like the Kindle space, like the number, because it changes from person to person. Just give me context. I'm gonna search in a Word document. Appreciate you. Okay. Let's see. Bear T. Bozeman, which is about the manliest name ever, says took 12 hours to read half. Thank you. That's how long it's supposed to happen. David says house party at AK's house. Yeah, I got blankets and couches forever. My house is basically a Quaalude. So yeah. Yes, so the Land live action series would be amazing, Vinci. I agree. All right, I gotta skip down because I'm losing space again. All right, I'm at Alexander Clausen. Tell me about what helps your mental health. Books, meditations, being famous can be stressful. So that's a really, really deep question. I've talked about it in some of my old lives, which are all, cataloged on my YouTube if you feel like diving back through the several hundred times that I've talked to you guys. But the books in a very real way, like, saved me, I, had finished residency. I'd gone through the 15 years of blood, sweat, and tears it took to become a doctor. And like everything was fine, right? But it just felt like kind of empty and incomplete. It's like I devoted 15 years to doing something. And so like at the end you expect like a gate to Narnia to open up or something. And it was just a Tuesday. And I was kind of disillusioned by that, but creating these worlds, like actually writing and making something new, felt to me the way people describe when they fall in love with their child, when they look in their eyes for the first time. And that act of creation, that meaning that I was able to find through creating the land, kind of brought such a peace to my psyche. It really, really did. So we can always dive deeper into that, but yeah, that's the basic answer to your question, Alex. So yeah, the actually creating of this, and then while the trolls or the dickheads or whatever have kind of been stressful, I've met 100 really awesome people through this, like in this community, for every couple of those. So that's been amazing too, just like talking to good chill people. Yeah, so that's what helps. All right, let's see. Tyler, I'm glad you're here. Eric says, yeah, so 8 is a build-up for the next phase, absolutely. And so Katie says the best Christmas gift she got was the reading of chapter 1. I'm going to let Nick know he appreciated it. Sean Hartung, you are always appreciated for your meticulous detail. I really do. Please send them to my email, and I will go through them. I've looked at some of the other ones that you sent me are backlogged, just because I was in the grind to get this. But I'm going to be doing a revamp on some of the older books now. One of the specific things that's just been driving me insane that I did from early on is interchanging levels and ranks depending on what we were talking about. It just makes a lot of sense now to just have like levels are like small increments, ranks are bigger increments, and tiers are giant increments. I'm going to do that for the enchantments. So yeah, just send them to my email. I appreciate you, Sean. All right, let's see. Yeah, so Dean, I agree. Waiting for Nick is always a good call. Nick is the man. So Daniel Myers says, love The Princess Bride, including references to the greatest movies arguably ever created in human civilization. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. So Gerard says he can help in writing some scripts. If I get there, I will appreciate it. Nick is a gift. I will agree. And so Brandon said, are we looking at March for an audiobook? So I'm waiting so Nick is so popular and so great that he gets blocked out for 4 years in advance. And it's only because Nick and I are like personal good friends that he leaves like little slots open. So basically his wife is who keeps him sane. So she is looking for a slot that he can do whatever. But I mean, the other problem is that Nick one of the reasons Nick is so good is that he puts prep time into the books. He doesn't just get one and just start reading through whatever, right? He goes through the book, he makes notes, he contacts me, he asks me like, is this supposed to be a certain type of nuance? And I'm like, hey, well actually this is a reference to this like old obscure movie. And he's like, hold on, I need to go watch that 5-minute clip. That's why he's able to bring so much, because he gives so much. So that's one of the reasons that we're waiting. But I promise you will get the customary Nick awesomeness when you do. Okay. So Audrey says, I need any extra betas. Perhaps my betas, my 2 amazing betas, we have such like a shorthand like comfort with each other at this point. But I may open it up this year. I may. All right. So let's see. Nathan says Book 8 was the first book he's read since high school. He says he couldn't put it down, kept saying, holy shit, it's Rick to progress. Well, Nathan, I appreciate you reading it. I guess you're typically an audio listener. But again, everyone that loves it, please just leave that as a review. That's an awesome review. That'd be amazing. Okay. All right, man, I am falling behind. There's literally 400 comments that I haven't already. Okay. All right. Nick is awesome. I agree, Justin Friends. John Schroeder, love the book. Thank you, John. Please leave a review. Let's see. It's Nick. All right. So evidently this was a part where I was talking about Nick a lot. There's a lot of Nick love right here. Okay. No, I did not. Yes, I did get hit in the eye a long time ago. I already addressed that. Jacob Allen says the first part of the book was a nerdgasm, as all the things that were mouthwatering, and it's awesome setup for 9. It wasn't meant to be a standalone, so people shouldn't. I agree. I feel like my books have never been like self-contained little things like Lord of the Rings. It's more like episodes of Scandal where each episode is going to come out. And again, I understand though that like because waiting for so long for this episode, you're like, where's all the plot that but I promise it's coming and it's going to be amazing. So I hope you guys stick around. Brandon says, love the hairdo, let the soul glow. For those of you guys don't know, that is a wicked burn from Brandon going back to Coming to America. Well done, sir. I'm going to cry about that later tonight. So Michael Reeve says he wants the audio. Go to Nick's house, man. That's not on me. I'm ready. Is that why? So Seth Murphy says, is that why the trolls are assholes in the book? Yes, I'm glad that you noticed it. You're the only one that ever really got it. Yes, trolls are assholes in or out of the book. All right. What? All right, new comments. Okay. So Brian says he's trying to get his girlfriend into the land. I wish you well. Yes, and book 8 was supposed to be comedic. I was trying to. I like making you guys laugh. Is the new season? Okay, so Dean Lee says the new season Navigator set. No, I'm going to be working with Luke Daniels for the new book. I'm very excited. We've been wanting to work together for years. So Peter says he's cleaning his house. I hope it's not too painful. Yes, we may do a beta contest in the future. I will let my beta readers come up with it. They are diabolical, like English professors from the 15th century. So they will come up with something suitably horrible for all of you guys to have to jump through before they welcome you to their noble ranks. Okay, all right. All right. I feel like maybe I've caught up, or maybe Facebook has just pushed out almost all of the. Oh man. Okay, they finally updated on my thing. Okay, so I don't want to just keep pulling it out for you. And yes, I have a YouTube channel. All right, I'm gonna post. All right, Geneva, post links to all of our stuff at the top of this as well, because people have no idea that we have like something like 100 videos and like, you know, funny skits that we do on YouTube. Okay. All right. I'm not gonna. So might want to start doing a lot of things on YouTube that are maybe I will do it. All right. So, all right. Let me just say again that I wouldn't be here without you guys. I wouldn't be here. Period. I appreciate you. I wish everyone loved everything, but whether you loved it or not, thank you for taking the time to read it, and thank you for taking the time to read the earlier books. There's no better word than humbling that how I feel that I can share this kind of stuff with you people. So thank you. Please leave a review. Please just be cognizant of the fact that, you know, I may not be able to eat if you leave a bad one. But don't let that sway you. Don't let that sway you. And yeah, there's more stories to come. Okay? Happy New Year. Be good to each other. Peace, love, the perfect margarita. Bye.